Thank you, ODU. Thank you, everyone. So let me go ahead and get started. You guys will be able to see over on the far left-hand side, you will see the presentation. I am also going to share out a link for the presentation for all of you, so you will have access to all of my resources, all of my slides, every template I am giving you, basically all of my technology folder. So you will have access to everything, and I will show you how to access that. So first, let me introduce myself to you all. I am Heidi Trude. I am a French teacher at Skyline High School, which is out in Warren County near Front Royal. I am the 2017 Region 4 Teacher of the Year for the state of Virginia. And I am also the FLAVA Communications and Social Media Chair. I am honored to be here today to present and share with you all for the next 2 hours. So please, if you feel I'm going too fast, if you can't hear something, if you have questions about anything, please put it in the chat window, and I am more than happy to answer any questions in the middle of the presentation. I also have set up another tool for us to be using as well, which I will explain that in a minute. But feel free to connect with me on email, hstrude@wcps.k12.va.us, or you can also reach out to me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is hstrude07. So feel free, you can tweet out things that you're learning today as well, and hopefully you all have your devices with you, as this is going to be a very interactive session, both with your devices, and we will be interacting as long as everything works correctly here, which it should, with lots of interactive activities. So this should be very, very fun and very interactive and participatory. So feel free at any time, ask questions, and we're going to go ahead and get started. I also forgot to mention that I am a Google for Education Certified Educator Level 1, Level 2, and a Google for Education Certified Trainer. And if you have any questions about those programs, I am happy to answer those as well. So if we go to my next slide, this is where you will have access to all of the handouts. So if you guys go to the link up there, you can access it. It's goo.gl/K, capital V, B, capital Q, capital W, and a lowercase f. So if you guys want to check and see if you can get onto that right now, that would be great. If only one person in your room has the device, that's okay, because you can share. But make sure if you want copies of any of the presentation, any of the links, go ahead and copy that down. Okay? I'll give you guys a minute. Okay, we cannot hear. Okay, we got, let's see, King William cannot hear us. Can everybody else hear me? Anybody? Can someone give us confirmation? Okay, King William, make sure you haven't muted us by chance. Okay? All right, is everybody able to access the links right now? I see on mine, I have some people on there. If you don't want to follow along, that is fine, but that is where you will find all the information. Okay? All right, looks like we're good. So once we get, I'll give you guys about another minute or so more to access the link, because that way you'll be able to interact and play along with me, because I have some very fun interactive activities, so I just want to make sure you guys can get on there as well. So give you all about another minute to access the link, and then we'll get started.
So something else, make sure they can enlarge the...
Oh, and also to let you guys know, I'm going to show it up here. You can also enlarge your screen sharing that I'm going to share with you. So if you guys hit the button up here, that will enlarge your screen. So you could see everything when I'm showing it to you on the screen when I start screen sharing. So if you want to do that, you're more than welcome to do that as well. Give you guys about one more minute.
Okay, so you're good?
Yeah. And then we'll move on. All right, is everybody okay to move on? Because I'm ready. If you guys are ready, and if you haven't got the link, I will put it back up at the end of the presentation as well in case some of you do not have it. So let's go over today's agenda, what we're going to cover in this session. So today's agenda. First off, we're going to look at why should we have technology integration in the foreign language classroom. Next, we'll cover, after we discuss that for a bit, we'll look at tools for assessment, so how we can use technology for assessments in the foreign language classroom. We'll look at tools for flipped lessons, so how you can flip your classroom using some technology. And then the final topic I picked for us today would be collaboration in games, most of it through Google, but there is another tool I threw in there as well that I think you guys are really going to like this one. It's a lot of fun, but I'm going to save that one and tell you what it is when we get there. And then we'll close up with question and answer, and if anyone needs help troubleshooting, we can work that during that time as well. But again, please use chat room for any questions you have, and I can see that and I can answer to those as well. So if everyone's ready, we will go ahead and continue. So the first tool that I wanted to share with you guys is actually one more for myself to help us as well with, we also have the chat room, but another tool that I like to use, and I use this in my classroom a lot, is what is called Today's Meet. So I'm going to go ahead and share this link with you guys up on your screen. So you all should see that right now. And at any time during the session, if you don't want to post it in our chat room, you guys can simply come over here to Today's Meet, and our room is called Engaging Tech Tools. All you have to do, it's in the style of Twitter, so all you do, post your name, okay, and then I would hit join, and then I can type a message. Cannot wait to share tech tools with you all. And then I would hit my button, and then it shows up in here. This is a great tool that you all can use. It is free. It's just called Today's Meet. You could use it for give your students a reading assignment in class. You could post a simple question and they can respond back in target language. My students like it because it's very similar to Twitter, as you're limited to the number of characters. So it's teaching your students to really limit their message, focus on that essential point, or you could give them an assignment for homework if they have some questions. This could be your little room where they can feel free to ask questions. Maybe you don't see it, but someone else in the class sees it. They could answer back to, hey, well, this is the explanation to this, this is that. It's a great tool. I love it because it's free, and you can also use it. You can decide how long you want your rooms to be active. It can be active for only a few hours to up to a year. And you set all that in your settings. Again, this is a completely free tool. And it's one that I just decided was one I was going to share with you all because I figured it's a lot of fun. I've used this before in my class, and I've used it in other trainings. So hope you guys like it. And if you have any other questions, etc., you can use that feature. I'm watching it on my screen, on my Chromebook. Or you can also add it in the chat box as well. So that's the first tool that I'm going to look at that I've basically just shared very briefly, a little free tool for you guys. So have fun with that one. I will keep this one open. And so if there's other questions you have after today's session, when you're driving home, you're like, what was that tool again? Or I really didn't get that. You can share it in Today's Meet, start collaborating with each other as well as with me. So hope you guys really enjoy that one. So that's just our little feedback tool for myself. But let's go on to our first actual section, which is going to be chapter 1, as I like to call it, technology integration. So the question I have is, why should we integrate technology in the foreign language classroom? And if we go to our next slide, you guys are going to have an activity. So with that activity, I want you all in your different rooms, find a partner, and I want you all to take a minute and discuss with your partner why foreign language teachers should integrate technology into the curriculum. After you've taken that minute or two to discuss, I want you guys to go to the link that I have at the bottom of the page, and I'm going to open it up here so you all can see it on the big screen. And this is another awesome tool to use in our foreign language classrooms. This is Padlet, padlet.com. It is also free. So It doesn't take that long to make an account. It's very easy to do. And I like it because it's like a memo board. So all you do to do a post in it when you're ready, you just hit your plus button and then title it, whatever you want to title it, or if you guys want to identify yourselves from what county or what school you're from, you can write your answer. You could also choose if you want, and this is what I like it for in my classroom, you can choose to record. You can choose a video. You could upload a photo, or you can even upload a document as well. So I use this a lot in my room when I have students sharing messages, quick little recordings. They just share them all in the Padlet, and then it gives us things to discuss. So I'm going to give you all several minutes, and then we will see what is going on the Padlet. So take a few minutes, discuss with a partner, and then if you want to share as a group, come up with a group answer, or if you guys want to share as individuals and partners, either is fine with me. So take a couple minutes and discuss that and share on the Padlet. I'll give you guys a couple more minutes to come up with your answers, and then we'll keep going, and I will talk about some of your answers and then share some of my reasons. So take a couple more minutes, and then we will share and discuss as a group. All right. Has most everyone gotten to share something into the Padlet? If not, it's okay. And yeah, everyone notice again that you can, if you want to see the screen share, up at the very top of the split screen, there are those buttons with the arrows. So if you want to see the split screen bigger, which right now has the Padlet on it, go ahead and click that button and you'll see it in full screen view. So hopefully that helps everybody with that. So it looks like looking at the Padlet, which you will see it will keep changing, and you can set the different views on it when you make it up. I like it in more of a grid form, so they're nice, neat, and organized. If you don't set it in grid form, what happens is the kids will start posting on it, And then you'll get a post over a post over a post, and I'm one who likes it all nice and organized, so you're not hiding someone's answers. So it looks like, looking on it right now, and I'm going to look off it on my Chromebook as well because it's a little easier for me to read it than staring up at all these big screens. But it looks like a lot of you, the consensus is that it's important because it's versatile. It's what our students are accustomed to, which is so true. Our students are what we call digital natives. They have grown up with this technology. So we need to incorporate that into our classes. Like some of you have said, it's opening the world. You have it right at your fingertips. It opens us up to so many authentic resources that we can pull from. It also increases our engagement and participation. And like so many of you are saying, is there are so many different tools that we can use. So hopefully you guys can see the benefit in using it, that we are creating 21st century learners in our foreign language classes. This is going to allow our students to be creators, collaborators, critical thinkers, and communicators. And the one way that I really like to use technology is using a model, and hopefully most of you are familiar with this model, but I'm going to jump back and show it to you on our slides. So I will jump in there. And the model I like to use all the time when I think of how am I going to integrate technology into my classroom is I like to use the SAMR model, which hopefully you all are somewhat familiar with the SAMR model. But basically with SAMR, we are going to be looking at technology in terms of different levels. So if you see it on the graphic, we have our different levels of SAMR. The most basic level is substitution. And that's basically where we're going to have our technology, and it's basically a direct substitute. There's no functional change, it's just we're throwing in technology for the sake of using technology. The next level up on SAMR moves up to augmentation, and that's where tech is going to be your direct tool substitute. You might have a little functional improvement there, might do things a little bit better, but still you're really not diving completely in with the tech. In terms of modification, this moves us up. We're taking that task and we're redesigning it completely. Okay, it basically is going to up it up a little bit. So maybe we've used, okay, instead of having them write their papers, now we're having them write their paper using Google Docs. And then from Google Docs, we're going to have them share and collaborate with another classmate on the paper. Okay, redesigning the task. We're transforming what would typically be paper pencil and taking it up. And then possibly through modification, we could also have them then share that with someone in another school. Complete other school, even take it as far as another country. To get it to the redefinition level, this is where we would use a completely new task that was previously inconceivable without technology. This is the hardest level to get to, and this is when you dive the deepest with your technology usage. So for me, I try with a lot of my activities that I do with my students that are project-based, I'm aiming at getting to the modification or the redefinition level. And a lot of it, when I get to redefinition, occurs through the collaboration I have with my partner school in France. Because previously, without technology, I wouldn't be able to do these things as easily, to share these projects, to create these authentic opportunities for learning for students. So when you think of your technology usage, kind of think at what level you're at. Are you just using it for the sake of technology? Oh, I'm just going to say we're going to use technology today because I have it. Try to stay away from substitution. You guys want to be moving towards augmentation, modification, and redefinition. Don't think of it just as an enhancement. You want to think of transforming your curriculum. Is there any questions about that, anyone? If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat box for me. Looks like we're all okay with that. So why don't we move into our first set of tools? So our first set of tools we're going to look at is going to be our tools for assessment. So what tools do we use for assessment for our students in terms of technology? So what I'd like you guys to do, and for this one, let's share in our chat box, please. Tell me, what are some ways that you use technology for assessment in your classroom? So this could be for formative assessment or for summative. So think about, how do you use technology for assessment in your classroom? So take a minute or two, share with a partner, and then share with your site host, and come up with your list in the chat box, please. All right, I'm starting to see some similarities with some. I'm seeing Google Forms, I'm seeing Quizlet, quizzes. Let's see what else I can see. Let's see, projects. Seeing some tools, Edpuzzle again. Vocaroo, that is also awesome and it's free, which we love things that are free. Let's see, projects. Okay, Kahoots, Quizlet, quizzes, perfect. Let's see, performance-based projects. Feel free to share any sites that you guys find that are awesome that you guys all use. I'm going to pick some. Okay, Pear Deck, great resource as well. Poll Everywhere, another good one. Awesome, using your tablets for recording, speaking assessments, Kahoot, Quizlet Live. Okay, Quia. Let's see what else we got. Okay. Google, perfect. Give you guys about another minute if anyone else is still coming up with tools. Let's see if we got some more. See, a couple people are still typing, so if you want to finish up what you're typing. But it looks like everybody is about on the same page in terms of what tools we're using. So if anyone else wants to jump in and share something, feel free to do so, but it seems like we're all saying a lot for our formative. We're looking at things like Quizlet, we're looking at Kahoot, we're looking at Quia, okay, we're looking at Quizlet, quizzes, and then Google Forms, and some of you are saying with Blueberry, some of you are telling me with Forms just on its own, and I'll talk about both of those because there is a difference in terms of the type of assessment you want to do if you're using Google. So we're going to go ahead and move right into that. So I will come to this. So I picked out a couple that I like to use in my classroom. And one of them is what I use for more of my formative assessments. And then the other three, so we're going to look at Google Forms, using both with Blueberry and using it just with Forms itself in quiz mode, Kahoot, Quizlet Live, and quizzes. And I probably, out of the three that I picked for formative, I prefer quizzes because I can also assign that one for homework. And I'll explain and show you guys that one. But if there's some of these that you all feel that you're really good at, we don't have to go through the demos on them. So it's up to you guys to tell me if you're really good at it or it's something we can move on from. So the first one I picked is Google Forms. And as I said, we can do this, it'll grade our forms automatically. Okay, we're not going to have to worry about paper, which is a beauty. I don't like having to use paper a lot, so I like to put a lot of my tests and quizzes on Google Forms. So I'm just going to put mine so I can see it. So with Google Forms, as I told you all, within the form. If you're using it just with Google Forms on its own and not using Blueberry, the downfall with that is we can only have multiple choice questions. And as most of us know as foreign language teachers, we are more than a multiple choice test. So if you want to have your short answers or your essay questions, then that's where you would go to your second option, which would be using it with Blueberry. Okay? So if you choose to use it with the Blueberry, it's going to do pretty much the same thing, except you're going to have your multiple choice questions and you can have your free response questions. Is everybody clear on that? Okay. So if we were to do this, and I put an example quiz in here for you all, do you guys want to go ahead and see how it works for those of you who have never done this? So if I can get a confirmation on the chat room, is this something you all need or not, just so I know, because I want to gauge this as what everybody needs versus just what a couple people need, because without seeing you all, it's hard for me to gauge this. So if you can tell me in the chat room, give me a quick yes or no, that would be really helpful. And I can go ahead and start launching it on mine.
The chat room might be so scroll down.
Okay, we think chat needs to come down. Let's see that line. Okay. All right, I'm seeing with Flubaroo, I'm seeing, okay, so you guys want to see it, it looks like more with the Flubaroo and not with Forms itself. Perfect. I can set that up for you. So what I need you guys to do for me, I'm going to share this one with you. If you guys open up this little link that's in the presentation, take that very basic quiz. I know some of you are French teachers, some of you are going to get this right. Probably everyone will get it right because we're all foreign language teachers, so it's actually a really basic, quick little quiz. Take those quizzes for me, okay? So if you guys go ahead and take that for me, and then submit your answer, I will open up my Google account, and then I can get it started with Flubaroo. So take a couple minutes, take the quiz, and I'm going to log into my account so I can access your quiz and grade it. All right. Okay. All right, has everyone had time to take the quiz? For the most part? Yes? No? I'm going to assume yes. Okay. In the window, in screen share window, do you all see now in my side where I have kind of, I'm on the quiz, but I'm on now my owner side of the quiz. So this is what you would see if you were the creator of the quiz. You'd be able to go in, edit your questions, just like I have. Okay, so I've made it. I can now go to responses. And from my responses, I'm going to go ahead and open my Google Sheet. All right, so my Google Sheet has opened up. And now we're going to see everyone's answers in here. It looks pretty messy. But what I want to do is I want to use Flubaroo. So what I'm going to do, Flubaroo is an add-on. And if you have not enabled it yet, you're going to go ahead and go to add-ons. And then you would get add-ons if you need to get it. So if you need to get it, you would go to get add-ons. And you would get the add-on. I already have it. So I'm just going to go and find Flubaroo here. And I've already graded this assignment before, so all I have to do is hit regrade it. If it was brand new, I'd have to go through and set up my point values, make sure I set myself as the answer key. That is the biggest mistake that you can make, is forgetting to put yourself as the answer key. And I learned the hard way one time, and I have marked the students as the answer key before, and then I'm like, why did everyone not do well? Because I forgot to set myself as the answer key first. So always make sure you either call it yourself, like use your name, call it test, answer key, etc. when you're setting it up. But I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to hit regrade assignment. It's going to take a couple minutes. Okay, yes. I want to go ahead and do that. All right, and it's going to let me go ahead and do the setup as well. So I can choose my options for how I want things set up. I've got it pretty much set up how. So you just choose, yes, I want them done all on normal grading, since these were multiple choice. If they weren't multiple choice and you were doing a free response, you could indicate that in this section where it says normal grading. You could choose that you wanted to grade it by hand, or you could type in exactly the answer that you were looking for the students to put in that. So then I will go ahead and hit confirm. It's going to load. Yes, I called myself, my name was answer key, so I am set as the answer key. And then I'm going to hit continue. And now it's going to grade. This may take a minute. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. It's going to grade our assignment. I'm on Blueberry. And then it makes us a brand new sheet where it will open and it's going to have everybody's grades stored right in there. And it should pop up right about now. Here it comes. All right. So here we go. And we can see our questions. There we go. It tells them grading is complete. Wonderful. And I can see everybody's grades. I can go by their percentages. I have them right there. I can also choose, once they're in, I could choose to email the grades out to everyone. So if I went back up to Flubaroo, to the add-ons, and I went to Flubaroo, I could choose to email them out to everyone. So that's another option you can choose. I usually email them back. So I usually share the student feedback, but you don't have to. That, again, is your option. And then also, if you have a question that's a problem question, they're going to show up in orange. So I probably need to reteach these two skills because it looks like that was something that was troublesome. I can also set what my benchmark score is. So scores that don't meet the benchmark score appear in red. So that's something that's really good for your district assessments. If you have a set score that they have to reach, you can set what it is, and it can be different for each assessment. And again, when you're setting up your Flubaroo for each one you do, you just change it right there. So does anybody have any questions on using Flubaroo? If you do, go ahead and put it in the chat window. Don't see anyone typing. Okay, but that was a very brief overview on Flubaroo. Hopefully, it's probably, in terms of grading, I like to do it this way. It's paperless. I have not run into any issues with my students cheating. What I do use sometimes is I put their test as a PDF, and I have my students do a split screen, because sometimes my questions are in my Google form. Sometimes I've just taken my test that I usually used on paper, and I scan them as PDFs, and they just scroll through, and very simply, we just split our screen, and you'll have your tests on the right side and your answers on the left, and they work fine with that. So it's a great way to do testing without having to use paper. All right, so that's formative. If we go to, sorry, that was summative. If we go to formatives, I have 3 that I picked, and it sounds like for the most part we're all really good at these. So we have Kahoot, and I like to use that as quick formative assessment. The students like it because it's pretty much like a game. It's competitive, and it's something they all like. I usually have them play as individuals. We usually don't play it as teams, but if you're short on devices in your school, you could use team mode. Another mode that my students, they like ghost mode, which I don't know if any of you have tried playing on ghost mode before, but what that one is say I played my Kahoot on Monday, and now I want to see, okay, how much have you really mastered this? Did you guys get better as we went on in the unit? You can use ghost mode, and they're going to compete against themselves from when they played it the first time. Or if you teach up 2 blocks of, say, French 1, and you could have your first block compete against your third block in ghost mode to be like, hey guys, first block, here are your winners. Let's see if you can beat them, and you play it in ghost mode. Or sometimes I go ahead and I play it the night before on my own device, and then their goal becomes, can you beat your teacher? Which they love trying to beat me and see, can I beat Miss Trude? How is this going to work? It gets really fun and really brings in that aspect of competitiveness into the classroom. So that's that. And you can get your student results as well as a sheet. So if you want to see exactly how they're doing, you can get student results. I had set it up if we want to play a Kahoot, but I'm just looking at time, and I'm not sure, do you guys feel you need to play a Kahoot, or is this something we all have a really good understanding of? Okay, I just see a question that popped up on the chat, and no, you don't have to do ghost mode in the same day. It can work within, you can just go back, and I'll show you guys when I get onto the Kahoot how it would look. Okay, I'm seeing some people who have said, I'm seeing some, we've never done one, and I'm seeing a lot of people saying, yeah, we'd like to play. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, guys, and I'm going to click the link, and you guys are actually going to play one that my students are going to be doing. They've actually played this one. I'm not going to put it in ghost mode for you because I don't want you to have to play against my kids, but we'll play this one for a few questions. I'm not going to have you play the whole thing. But we're going to play it in classic mode. So if you have a device right now, phones will work for this as well. Go ahead and you're going to go to this link that appears on the board. Okay, you guys should all see it on your screen. You're going to get these two song while you're waiting. Just go to kahoot.it and then type in your PIN, 7553477. And if you want to just be one person per district, that's fine. I'll give you guys a couple minutes to log on. And if you get tired of the Kahoot music, like I do sometimes, you can choose to upload a YouTube video with music videos. My kids like that, so you get a cute little song this time. All right, I'll give you all a couple and one more minute to get logged on. So take about 1 to 2 more minutes, get yourselves logged on, and then we are going to hit start. All right, giving you all 30-second warning until I hit start. Again, if you're having trouble joining, go to kahoot.it. I'm seeing some people are having trouble logging on. Just go to kahoot.it and then type in your PIN, 7553477. And anybody should be able to log on. All right, I see King William put it, yeah, it is only multiple choice. They do have a new form on it as well now. They have Jumble. So if you want to assess them on spelling, you can do that as well. All right, we're going to hit start. So if you're not on yet, I'm getting ready to hit, except I see someone typing. All right. Thank you, Dick, for putting up the link on there for them. And again, type in your code, 7553477. And it looks like I've got a lot in, so I'm going to go ahead and hit start. All right, here we go. So this is for their food unit, so very basic. We will not do all 30. Go ahead and type in your answers. And you all may want to turn your own volumes down with all the food music. All right, correct answer en café. Très bien, tout le monde, on va continuer. Voilà, très bien. All right, we'll do a couple of these just so you get the feel of it. All right, très bien. En sandwich au saucisson, salami sandwich. All right, and there's your leaderboard for now. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Très bien, le gâteau. Okay, so not too bad, guys. Let's go ahead and do just 2 more to give you guys the idea. Okay, and I see I have questions on tablets too. I will answer that one. All right, correct answer was en jus de raisin. And I see I'm getting asked both on Padlet and up on chat room is how do you put a song into Kahoot? When you're creating your Kahoot, all you have to do, there's an option for the start of it. You can choose to upload a YouTube video. So you can pick any YouTube videos you all want, and you can put those in. Or if you choose to use someone else's Kahoot, you can still, when you're editing it, you can add in a link to a YouTube video, and you can have the songs or video clips, etc. Sometimes I pick music videos, sometimes I'll just pick pretty scenery, movie clips that go with the theme. Depends on the mood, because the Kahoot music gets a little bit boring. So we'll do one more question to give you guys an idea how it works, and then we'll move on. And last one, you get it. Qu'est-ce que c'est? And correct answer, en croque monsieur. All right, yeah, that picture was a little misleading. I can see why some of you guys did put en sandwich au jambon. But that's how we would go, and I'm not going to make you play the whole quiz, so I'm going to go ahead and hit end quiz. And even if I end the quiz right now, it'll still give me my leaderboard, which the students always want to be the one who gets the gold medal. So Madame Snyder, félicitations. And then we would see the rest. And then if I wanted to get the results, I can get the results. I can choose to save those, but I'm not going to do that right now. I could choose play it again, and this would give you in ghost mode. You'd play it right then and there if you'd want. Or you could do, I could set up a new game, but I don't need that, so I'm not going to worry about those options. It would also give you guys the options if you wanted to rate the Kahoot. You can rate the Kahoot too, which sometimes the students like it. I like to know, hey, did you all like this game or not? And you can do that as well. So that's just a quick on Kahoot. Are there any questions besides putting in the song, which I think I got that one answered for you all? Any other Kahoot questions? All right. Let's go ahead, and I am going to move us along in our presentation. Switch mouse. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so Quizlet Live is one where we really can't demo this one because you're all in different locations, and that would just get crazy if I tried to do that with you all. But it's a team-based game, and it works off of your Quizlet flashcards. You can either create your own, or if you find that another teacher has already made them and they're really good, why not use them? I am all about sharing with people, so feel free. You can search my name on there, and you can share any of mine that I have. I am more than welcome. You guys, if you're French, go ahead and use them. And basically, you're going to have your teams working together to try and win. And again, this is more recognition. It works with grammar, though, as well. You can put sentences and give them translations. And basically, you're going to learn how to improve after each round. It gives you the feedback, so you know, well, most of us missed this one or that one. I love it for collaboration. My students focus especially on staying in target language completely while they're playing it. At first, sometimes they're a little awkward and they're not sure of realizing, oh, I have to work together with these other people. These might not be the people I necessarily work with, but in order to win the game, they have to work together. So it's very easy to set up. All you do once you have it set, you're just going to have Quizlet Live. And okay, I got a question. Has it to include videos? And I can use pictures. I have not tried it with a video yet. I know they just did an update this week. And obviously, I have not had time to go in there and see if you can update with video. But that is a very good question, and I can look into that, and I will certainly post a response back to you all, Loudon. I will post it onto today's Meet or onto our Padlet for you all, and I will most certainly look at that tonight and get you all an answer. I do know you do get more if you pay for a teacher account, which I do have the teacher account version on it, so that might be where it is. So I will check that for you all. But we're not going to play with that one. But are there any other questions about using Quizlet Live? I use it not just playing with Live, but I use Quizlet a lot with my students to help them learn the vocabulary and the grammar. And you can, if you have the teacher account, you can also monitor their progress and have them join your class, and you can actually see how long they're focusing on your words, your homework, etc. So it's a great way to monitor what they're actually doing instead of saying, oui, madame, yes, I studied, and then I look back on Quizlet and I find out, oh, you haven't been on there at all. That may be why you're having trouble in my class. Okay, so that one's that, and we're going to go ahead and look at the next one, which is probably ones that I like to use, because while Quizlet is similar to Kahoot, it is also one that does not require the kids all to be looking at your smartboard at the same time. Also does not require them to play it at the exact same time. So what it is, it's going to be a game-based response system, similar to Kahoot, except this time the students will get their questions individually. So it still is timed, but they're going to be looking at their own screen and working with their own device. I also like to use this one for homework. So you can assign it through Google Classroom, which I really like that aspect of it. You're also the students like it because they get memes, which they love. You get a meme if you get it right. You get a meme if you get it wrong. So they like that. They also like these avatars you get. They're pretty crazy little characters. The kids love them. The kids also have taught me you can change your background when you're playing the game, whether you want winter scenes, you want jungle, etc. And it also changes the music that goes with it depending on the theme they pick. So if you want your kids to experiment with that, they can. I didn't even tell them about that feature because they found it out on their own. But it works pretty much the same way as it does for Kahoot. So we're going to go ahead. I will demo this one since some of you have not seen it. So if you guys, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to you all. All right. And I'm going to hit proceed. And if you guys go to join.quizzes.com and then you enter in this code 515508, go ahead and enter that. And then you will be able to do this. Okay, there we go. And it calls you all troops. So if one person wants to do this just from your district, or if you guys want to play as pairs, that's fine. Just go ahead. It's join, again, the link, join.quizzes. Make sure you spell quizzes how they do. .com, and then your code is 515508. I'll give you all about a minute to 2 minutes to get on, and then I will hit start game just so you can kind of get an idea how this one works, and then we'll keep going. All right, giving you all 30-second warning before I hit start game. You will not need to look at your screen. Don't look at this, like my screen for screen sharing for this once I hit start. It's all going to appear on your own device. So I'm going to go ahead and hit start game at this point. And you're going to get a countdown. And then it will start. And on my screen, I will be seeing kind of your progress. I get to see total right and wrong. And you guys will be getting memes, etc. on your screens for both right and wrong. And if you have questions, again, share them out. give you guys, I know we won't finish this one. I'll give you about 2 more minutes to play on, and then we're going to go into our next section. All right. I'm going to go ahead and end our game. Yes, I know not everyone is done. So it would stop at this point whenever I hit in game. It would tell me if I let you play the entire thing, it would say all troops are home when you finish. And I can automatically see right here the results like this. It would see so far it's Jennifer who is in first, so congratulations. I could also then choose if I would want. I could review the questions with you all as a class. I could also export the results so I would know exactly who did what. What I do is sometimes I use these as homework assignments, and then I can see exactly who is doing what. You can share them right in Google Classroom. It makes the link, because when I went to activate this, I can choose Play Live, which means you play it right here, right now, or assign as homework. So this is a really useful feature. So that is quizzes, and we'll keep moving right along because I am watching our time, and we still have a lot that I had planned. So my question for you all was, what tool will you try? So take a minute and kind of talk amongst yourselves. And Holman just posted the question of, can a student do quizzes over and over? Yes. Mine have tried it, but it's really easy to know when if it's their first time logging on versus their second, because if you assign it to them as homework through Google Classroom, it automatically puts their user ID, and once they try it again a second time, it's going to put an asterisk by their name. If they do it again, they get *1, *2. So I tell them, I'm like, if you do it again, I'm only counting your first score, your original score, because I had one kid who did it 10 times until they memorized the questions and got them all right and thought, oh, that's my score that goes in. No. So they've learned, and I've learned, that you look at their user ID and have them sign in through their Google account, and then that's a really easy way to track that. So I hope that answered your question, Holman. So think about what tool you guys wanted to try and shoot those answers up in chat room. All right, I'm seeing quizzes, I'm seeing Flubaroo. Flubaroo is awesome, and if you need more resources on Flubaroo and grading with Flubaroo, I have a whole presentation made that I would be willing to share with you, so just shoot me an email if that is something you would want or your district would want. So just let me know, shoot an email at the very end, I'll put my email up again. And quizzes, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of you are choosing quizzes because it's something you've never heard of. It is awesome and it is free, and I love how it integrates right with Google. That's how I even make my account for it, is straight from my Google account. It just links to it, so it's awesome. It also works when you set it up. Let's see if I can get into mine. If it'll let me come over here. Yeah, it will. Like, you can organize your quizzes, so you can organize them by my quizzes. You can just search for any public quizzes. You can then organize your quizzes into classes, so it makes it really easy for me. So I just go to my quizzes. Okay, it wants me to log in again. Okay, I'll log in again because it lost me, but that's okay. There we go. No, I don't want to update my profile. But then you can just go to my quizzes. Some of mine are there, some of mine I haven't got them all in. Some of them I haven't sorted at all. But you can sort them by classes, which is a really nice feature. So, all right, it looks like most of you are saying quizzes, which I'm glad I got to show you guys something new. So we're going to move to our next round, which is Chapter 3, Tools for Flipped Lessons. And this is something that I know not everyone tries, but I would hope after you see some of these tools, maybe it's something you would consider. So my question for you all is, I put on here, my title was, what tools can be used? And I wanted to know, for you all to discuss for a minute, have you ever tried flipped lessons? And if so, share that experience with a partner. So kind of let me know where you all are at in terms of flipped lessons. Is it something you've ever tried? Something you want to try? Maybe you're not sure or how it could possibly be useful in your class. So take a minute, discuss in your sites, and then share some thoughts up in the chat room for me. All right, Bedford, I'm seeing, has not tried this yet. I can see some of you guys are typing. I'll check on both other boards as well. Seeing things still coming on Padlet and on today's Meet as well. All right. I'm seeing a lot of you guys are curious. I'm seeing Ocean Lakes. Some of you have in blended classroom. Yeah, I like to use mine more for blended as well. I have not totally flipped yet, but I do use it a lot. I make more of the lessons, especially when I'm out doing presentations like this, so my students can still learn with the substitute. So I'll actually show you guys some tools that you can use. One you do have to pay for, and one is, the others are free. So I'll let you all, if you're still typing, I'll let those of you who are still typing finish. Okay. King William's having some audio issues. Okay, Portsmouth, you want to learn a little more. Awesome. And I see one more person typing. All right. Some of it, Prince William, some have. Others no. So it looks like we're kind of a mix of beginners and intermediate here. Okay. Okay. All right. Wondering about being able to use these with less commonly taught with other alphabets. That is a good question. So I would say if how you design it, and I'll show you tools that you could use to design it, I would say it would most likely work. So let me move to that. So I'm going to look at 3 tools with you guys. VoiceThread, which that right now is my personal favorite, but that is also the one you have to pay for. But if you can convince your school system to buy it, it is well worth it. Edpuzzle, which I think some of us had mentioned earlier, we've used. And then another free tool, well, it has a free version, which the free version is good enough for Screencastify, or you could choose to use the paid version. It's a little more bells and whistles for editing features, but free version is good enough for me. So first tool that I picked to show you guys is VoiceThread. I absolutely love this tool. I was introduced to it just recently in my graduate program in instructional technology with concentration in foreign language. So what VoiceThread allows you to do is that you can upload media. So I take my slides that I make in Google, I upload them into the program, and then I record my voice comments to accompany that media. Nice thing I like, while I'm doing my recording, I can write on the slides to highlight different things to my students so they see what is important. So that is a really nice feature. The other feature is you can include your students once you have the license. In your account, you can include your students in it. So you can see what they're doing. They can make comments to you, either written, or they can do voice comments back to you as well. So what this would look like would be an example. I'm going to show you one of mine. Okay, so that was our first title slide, and then I'm going to come over here. I would hit my next button. Okay, is everybody having issues with the sound right now in this video? So I'm getting Holman saying you're having some issues with the sound on the video. All right. Any idea?
I think it's going to sound weird because we're playing it from here and it's going back.
Okay, so what's going on, guys, is we're playing it from here, but you all on your own time. What can happen, I know because we're doing it recorded live from in here and going back and forth between all of our machines, so that is causing the issue of you guys not being able to hear that. But basically, all it is what I've done on the voice thread is I've taken my PowerPoint slides that I get from my textbook, I've added my voice explaining it, and the nice thing is if you use it with VoiceThread, the student can go through it as many times as they need. So if they need to just get one part of it, they can listen to that part, go back to it, listen again, pause, continue, and work through that. So what I did was I went through with each of my slides, and I made them. I recorded on each one, and then if a student would log on to view it, they could also sign in, and they would have the option here if they were signed on and had a VoiceThread account. They could then comment back to me of, Mademoiselle, I'm not understanding this. Can you explain this? Can you give me more examples if they were to watch it? So it's really nice to have this interactive dialogue, and you just scroll through, and then you go to the end, but say you want to hear it again, you can just go back and forth. You can make it full screen, etc. So again, the one side with VoiceThread is it is a paid for, you do have to pay for it, and it is subscription based, but I would say it is well worth the money to have it, because you also, I'm not signed in at this point, but if you were signed in, you could then browse other options as well. So that is VoiceThread very, very quickly. Okay. And then the other one, which is one that we have, several of you have mentioned, is Edpuzzle, which Edpuzzle, again, it's going to allow you all to create or select your videos to have the students watch. So some of it, the work is already done for you. Okay, you could go on there and search for ones, search for your videos all within it, and it's not like you're going to have to start completely from scratch. What the nice thing is with Edpuzzle, you can add right into there, so almost make it like a quiz, and they're forced to answer those questions within the video. They can't skip ahead and just be like, okay, the video is on in my bedroom and I am in the other room playing my Xbox and just letting it play through. Not going to happen with Edpuzzle. So that is one nice feature. It also connects to your Google Classroom, so you could link up all of your classes that you have in Google Classroom into Edpuzzle, and then you could assign the Edpuzzle video straight from Edpuzzle into Classroom. Very easy. Again, it is free, and to use it, all you guys would have to do is just go to edpuzzle.com, sign up as a teacher, and then you would sign up and create your account. I'm just looking at the time, guys, and seeing what time we have for the sake of time, and seeing that a lot of you have said you've used Edpuzzle. I am not going to demo Edpuzzle if that is okay with you all. Is that okay with everybody? If I can get a couple of confirmations, let me know. Okay, thanks, King William. Thank you, Holman. All right, looks like everyone's okay with that. And if you do have specific questions to Edpuzzle, I am more than happy to answer those again via email, via Twitter, on the back channels I've set up for you guys. Okay, and another free tool that I like is Screencastify. And again, this is going to allow you to make your recordings of your screens. So you could have your slides up, you could be showing maybe your desktop of something you wanted, anything basically you want to make a screen capture of and a recording, you can do that. So you can edit your videos, and again, this will link to your Google Drive. It's actually an extension, and all you would do when you're ready, you sign up for it, you get it, and then when you're ready, you just hit the little button and you record away, and then you can download it in either your Google Drive, you can send it right to YouTube. If you go for the paid version, you are going to have more editing options, but if you go for YouTube, you can work with it through YouTube Video Editor. If you want to add some more bells and whistles to it, just take that file that you have in your Google Drive and then work with YouTube Video Editor. That's what I would recommend, and then you're fine with that. So pretty easy to use. I see someone's typing a question right now, but what Screencastify? I'll just load it up for us. Okay, it decides it doesn't want to load for us. I'm sorry about that, guys. Not sure why the link's not working. Okay. So King William put, why would you need this if you can just share the PowerPoint or Google Slides? Okay. Why would you use this one if you maybe didn't want to have a Google Slides presentation or PowerPoint? Maybe you just wanted them to do a recording of them talking and you didn't want to use something like Vocaroo, and you actually wanted them to just talk to you and you could see them. This is one way you could do that as well. But I like Edpuzzle and VoiceThread better. But this is just another option. I figured I like to show more than one option because different people find different things they like. So this is one option, and if you need more help and this is one you want to explore a little more with Screencastify, I have a whole presentation on Screencastify, how you can use it, how you can use every single feature in it as well, and just let me know if that's something you want. And again, I'm more than happy to share anything with you guys because I love sharing. People have shared a lot with me, and I like to share my knowledge. So just let me know if you want it, and I can share that with you. So, thinking about just quickly going through those flipped tools, which one of those three that I showed you guys is one that you think might work for your classroom? So take a minute, discuss with the people at your site, and share out your responses, please. All right, I'm seeing all of them. Edpuzzle, Edpuzzle, Edpuzzle is awesome. Okay, I see another Edpuzzle coming up. Screencastify, because we haven't heard of it, and it is pretty cool when it works all the way. It's a really fun one to use. All right, I see a couple more typing. Okay, Screencastify. All right, so it looks like a lot of you guys want to try Screencastify because it's something new, and I can easily tonight later this evening, I can add the link to that presentation into this one as well so you have access to it if that's something you all want, which it seems like that would be beneficial. So I will gladly add that in this evening for everyone to have access to. So this moves us along into our next chapter. So is probably my favorite piece to work with, and I like to end with this one because it is so fun. And you're welcome, Bedford. I am happy to share with you guys. It's going to be collaboration and games with Google. I love using Google for everything, like absolutely everything. Those you can probably who see my Chromebook, you know this, and those of you who know me know that yes, Google is my favorite thing to play with. So how can we use Google to create collaborative activities and games for our students? So, and I am sharing one tool in here that is not a Google tool, but I didn't know what other category to put it in when I was making my categories. So, question for you all to think about is, what are ways you use Google for games and collaboration? So take a couple minutes, and I want you guys to share at your host sites and then share it up with us in the chat room so we can see what are some ways that you're already using Google for games and or collaboration in your classrooms, please. All right, I see lots of you guys are typing at this point, which is great. So take your time, discuss, and I've just got our next activity set for us. All right, let's see. Bedford, we haven't really used Google for a game, but you've done Google Sites, Slides, and Docs. I'm seeing Google Docs, which is great. Probably a lot of you use Google Drive for collaborative activities, which is fabulous. Okay, I'm seeing Slides and Docs again. All right, more Slides and Docs, and I see several more typing. Not seeing anyone yet going with any games yet with Google, so I think you guys are really gonna have fun with this one. All right, voting using Google Forms, that is great. Great way to use forms. Okay, I see some people are putting things on Padlet as well. So I'm getting Docs again, Drive. Okay. All right, Docs, Sheets, Slides, but those aren't games. But you're going to find out in a minute that yes, there are games you can use with Google Sheets. And I think you guys are going to be ready to have your minds blown. So, looks like for the most part, no one has used Google for games. So I think we're ready to explore topic number 1. Which is going to be gaming with Google Sheets. So what we're going to look on is going to be Sheets. And our first thing, we're going to look at specifically Google Sheets, and we're going to look at an add-on called Flippity. And the tool, then we're going to focus on a tool that is not Google related, which is Adobe Spark, which I am now addicted to. And then we're going to look at the whole Google Suites for G Suites for Education, which is all of Google now for education. And I'm going to give you guys some helpful hints and ideas that you guys could use for collaboration in gaming activities in your classrooms. So first, Sheets. Let's go ahead and move to Google Sheets. And I've already opened up on the screen share with you all. You should be able to see I've opened up a Google Sheet. So if you guys want to play along and get this add-on, so you can play with all these wonderful games. I'm also seeing some people are adding Google Draw as well. Google Draw is awesome. So thank you, Chesterfield, for sharing that one. So what we're going to do is, if you guys go ahead and open up on your Google Drives, if you have a Google account, go ahead and log in on your own computer. Okay, I put a link up as well that should open a Google Sheets for you if you're logged in. And we're going to use what is called the Flippity add-on. Flippity is amazing. With Flippity, you can create games and activities in pre-made templates. These templates are already going to be made for you. There is no work that you will have to do to create the template except add in your information. And some awesome things we can use to create with Flippity. You have Jeopardy. You're going to have flashcards. You can make a hangman game. You can make bingo. You can make Mad Libs. For those of you who like to have name pickers for those kids to pick out your students who don't always volunteer and you want to keep that random, there's even a random name picker in there. So I'm going to show you guys this because I am assuming no one has heard of this before. Is there anyone out there who's heard of it? If so, give me a little response on chat room, please. Anybody? I'm getting a response. All right, Ocean Lakes. Thanks, Shirley. I'm glad you've heard of it. Anybody else? Doesn't look like it. So awesome. So go ahead and open up a new sheet. And if you don't have this add-on, which I'm assuming none of you have it, okay, to get an add-on, you're going to go to add-ons. You guys are going to go to get add-ons. And then up in your search box, you would type in Flippity, just like I have. And then you hit enter. And for you guys, you would have it here saying get add-on. Mine is already turned to manage because I already have it. So go ahead and get that add-on for me. All right, at home end, you've got one who uses Flippity. Awesome. But go ahead and get that add-on for me, guys. And once you get the add-on, you're going to go back up to your add-ons, and then you're going to hit Flippity. Give you guys a minute to get there. And then you're going to hit Pick a Template. Okay. And then you have your choice of all these templates to pick from. You have flashcards. You have, probably my favorite is, they call it Quiz Show. I call it Jeopardy, because I'm tired of always having to use PowerPoints to try to make a Jeopardy board. The beauty of their Jeopardy board as well, it also keeps score for you. So for those of you who do not like to do math, this is wonderful. You can do crossword. I forgot to put that one on the list. You can also do bingo cards, so you can play your bingo in class. Okay, Jamestown, it's Flippity. Okay, so I have the link right on the Google slide. So it's just Flippity, just spell out Flippity on add-on. And then you pick it, and go back to your add-ons, and then you can pick your template. So you can do bingo, we have hangman, you can play all from there. Spelling words, if you need to make lists for vocab that your students need to practice, you have that. All right, we have that one, which I don't use that much. All right, and you can keep seeing, you have all these options. If you want to make a certificate, you have that. Okay, flashcards, I'm going to do the Jeopardy one. So we're going to go ahead and click that. It's going to build our template for us. Let it do its thinking. So if you guys want to pick the Jeopardy one to do, that's fine, you can click along. Or you just want to watch and see how this works. It's a very simple process. It usually works faster than this. So while it's building the template, what will then happen is it's going to pop up into my Google Sheet, already formulated with everything I'll need. There we go. Beautiful. Pops up. Okay. Almost done building the template, it tells us. So what will then happen when it's ready, it's going to tell us it's ready. You can already start to see that you have your categories up here. I'm going to give you one big hint right now. Everything that's in the blue, please don't mess with the blue. You mess with the blue, you ruin your whole game. I've learned that the hard way. You can change everything in the gray box. So everything in gray can be changed. Everything in the blue, we don't touch. Looks like my template's there. Yeah, my template's there, so it's all good. So then what you would do, you can go in if you want to change your category. You could type and change your category if you want. You can change your questions however you want. Another nice feature you can also do, you can also insert videos and make it like a video Jeopardy question. You can also insert pictures as well and make it basically a picture Jeopardy question. Once you have all your questions done, you go back up to your add-ons, and then you go back to Flippity, and it should tell me, I don't know why it's not telling me this time, it should, there we go. No, that's blue-green. Okay, it did not set it up correctly. I'm going to try this one again. It should give me the URL for it, so I'll try that again. There we go. That is what it would, okay, it's demoing it. I don't want it to demo it. Let's try it. There we go. Okay. All right, it's going to try to build the template again for us. Sorry, it's having a little technical difficulties. There we go, beautiful. Okay, so it's going to tell you when you're ready. This would be your URL, but don't worry, you don't have to remember that URL. I can just close that. Okay, I've built my game how I want it. I would go back up to my add-ons. I'm going to hit Flippity, and where I scroll over to Flippity, it'll say Flippity URL. So it's already done all the coding and scripting to make this actually a game that's now on the internet. So you take this link, okay, Tells you here, this is gonna take you to your game. And now I have my game that I built just using the sheet and with their coding and scripting. So now you have an interactive game. You could choose if team 1 doesn't want to be team 1, they can come up with a unique name, etc. If you have more than 4 teams, you can add a team. You can add up to 6. If you have less, then, okay, say you only want to have 2 teams, you can do that. You just add and subtract them how you want, and then you pick a question. All right, we'll do world capitals because that one's probably the best for us. So, what capital city opened its first subway in 1863? So, someone would answer, and we get the correct answer would be London, England. We'll say team 1 got it right. I'm going to click for them. They get a point. Say maybe team 2 got it wrong. Okay, they get the sound effect, they got it wrong. I hit my answer again, and now we see our scores updated where team 1 now has 100 points, and team 2 is at -100. I like to do math. This is a lifesaver with doing negatives because I am horrible at that, and the kids know it. So this, you just keep playing, you hit the questions, it already tells you what's eliminated. You don't have to worry about going back and forth with slides. It's beautiful. So that's just one of your options with Flippity, but you can make flashcards. You can literally make any of these options. You just, again, to refresh it for everybody, you would just go to add-ons, and then Flippity, and then this one, this time, it's going to show us our URL since we've already done it, but to open it again, and then just pick the option you want. The nice thing is once you've got that URL from Flippity, pull that up again for you all so you see it. Once you take that URL for your game, you can share that game out on your Google Classroom or whatever your learning management system is as well. So that's very easy. You could put it in Classroom, Schoology, whatever you all use. Just share that link, and the students could practice at home and just practice the questions as a review that way as well. So always, whatever you do using the Flippity, that URL that they create for you that takes it to the web, you can just share those out, whether it's with Hangman, Bingo, flashcards, etc. They all work the same way. So does anyone have any questions about it? I see someone is typing. So I'll wait and see what that is for you. What's that one? Okay. So how do teams play? And is there a sign? Okay, you don't have to sign in at all. Let me scroll so I can see that one again. Oops, scrolled too far. Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to see this from where I'm sitting. Okay. Okay. So what you do is, what I have in my classroom, I'm the academic team coach. So I have buzzers that my students are actually using buzzers to buzz in. What I have had some of my teachers in my department use is you can get them at the Dollar Tree, like the quick little night lights that you slap on and off. Or we have one teacher in our building went to Target and got the That's Easy button that makes a little noise at Target. Just come up with some noisemaker signal that works for your class. Maybe it's holding up a colored sheet of paper for their team. And I see right now, Prince William, you want to know, is there a tutorial available? Absolutely. I have a whole slide presentation on it, and I will be glad to share that one with you guys as well. And do students need to have the add-on to use it? If you want your students to create it, then yes, you would put the add-on, help the students get the add-on. I do have my students make these. So they make them and we play them for review games. So instead of me doing all the work, assign it to the students. Let them take ownership of their own learning. So yes, and I'll walk you guys through that in the tutorial that I have for that, and I would be glad to add that link on there as well for you all. Were there other questions about it that I missed? I'm trying to see all of these, and I usually end up scrolling too far. Okay. Thank you, Bedford. Okay, Portsmouth, thank you. Okay, it looks like I've got everybody so far. Any other questions with using Flippity? Does not look to be. But it is honestly one of my favorites. It's a lifesaver and it's so cool. Like the flashcards, you can even put pictures. and videos on your flashcards as well. So fabulous resources to play with, and I will totally share those links with you guys. I promise. They will be on there by late this evening. Okay, next one is probably this. Well, I know I just said Flippity is my favorite, but this is becoming one of my new favorite tools to play with, is Adobe Spark, which I learned about it in the fall. And actually, for those of you who are coming to Spring FLAVA, which everyone should come to, it's awesome and amazing, I will be presenting a whole session on Adobe Spark at Spring FLAVA. So if you want to dive even deeper with me into Adobe Spark, I will have a session on Spark at FLAVA in the spring. So what it is, you basically have 3 options within Adobe Spark. It is all free, again, and I put the original link to it, which is spark.adobe.com on the slide. And you have 3 options. You have pages, you have posts, or you have video. So with pages, that's basically going to be sort of like an infographic or a web page. You can incorporate text, images, and YouTube videos into it. And I did post an example of that up here. Posting is also very similar to making a poster or an infographic. And then video is honestly my favorite to play with. What I really like to do it with is for digital storytelling projects. And instead of me explaining what it is to you all, I am actually going to show you an example of a video. And this is by one of my students. I don't know how well the sound is going to come through. It could be a little garbled, but we're going to try our best. And we'll see how it works, hopefully, yes. So this is a French 2 student. Their topic was, it was a dark and stormy night. And he did give me permission to share this with you all, so this is his project. All right, so that was an example of a student's project. Okay, stop playing the video, there we go. And basically within Spark itself, you have your option in the video to add the images. So all my student did, he added the images. Then you can choose to add music with it, all within there, or you can choose to upload your own, and then you can add your narration. If you don't have a computer in your classroom, there's also free apps that you can get on your phone that does the exact same thing. So this was very simple, super easy to use with the video. Another way to do video, let's see if this one loads. Okay, this one's actually not video, sorry, I picked the wrong link. Try that one. Okay, this one's one that I did as an example. And this one's in English, so for those of you who did not understand French, here's a very simple example in English, just to show the kids how it could work that I use, and I use this one in the training. So, a day in Paris. So it should work, hopefully. And then basically, it keeps going, gives you a whole tour of Paris. And the nice thing was, a lot of the images that I used in this one were my own photography. So if you want the students to do a project more like introducing themselves to you, this is a great tool to use that for. They can even incorporate their own photos and add those right in. And then just, again, pick your music. You can choose whether or not you want the text to go on there or not, or you could just have them speaking without the text. It's easy to record, super easy. They just hold down a red button and they record and done. Super easy tool. So that's with video and digital storytelling, which I am now become a really big fan of using that in my classroom, and the students love it because they get to talk about themselves and it makes meaning to them. Like, they're like, I wrote a book, I wrote a little story. And it's, for some of them, it's the first time they really get to hear themselves speaking the target language back to themselves, which there are a lot of them. All right, I see a question. What about copyright? Like in terms of music or images, or what? Ocean Lake, you want to clarify a little bit for me? Thank you. Clarify and I'll keep talking. So for the first time, it's things they're using, and within Spark itself, for the images, if they're using their own images, they're okay. But within Spark itself, it has a whole database of your Creative Commons images that you can use. So then you don't have to worry. And if you see, like, at the end of their presentations, it automatically, if we go back and if you would look at Joe's, it automatically cites where those images came from. So the kids aren't having to go back in there and be like, where did these images come from? I don't know how to cite my images. Is this free use or not free use? It's all done within Spark. And I'll actually log into my Spark account. And music, that's also all within Spark. All the music that I have them use comes right within. So I'm going to switch into, sorry about that. There we go. All right, so now I'm in Spark. And I'm going to go ahead and log in. Okay, I'm going to log in with my Google account for you guys. Yes, let it allow. And I'll just show you what it would look like. And again, if you come to Spring FLAVA, I'm going to do a whole session that explains all this. Some of these are demo ones that I've done for the kids. My French ones had to pick a celebrity, and they made a whole project all about a celebrity. So I made an example to show them. I did Rachel Platten. This is one I did just to show when I was playing with it, all about my pictures, documenting my journey of Teacher of the Year. There's another one I've done, and then what you would do, you choose, okay, what do you want to do? And then do you want a video, do you want your page, or do you want your post? And we'll just say we're going to do a video. Okay, I don't know my name yet. It's okay. Okay, we're going to skip. We'll just start with blank. And it always gives you these nice little messages too as you're waiting, so the kids kind of like reading those messages. Okay. And then you would choose your theme, whatever you want. And then if you want to look for your music, it's all right there. I tell them just use what's there because it's all a whole lot easier than adding your own music and then worrying about, yeah, they can upload their own music, but again, then you got to worry about, are we only using so much of it, etc., and your copyright. And if they do use it, make sure they're citing their source at the end. And then your images, how you want your layout, and then images are here as well. So that's very brief overview of it. But if you choose to do a post, this is a page. So a page is going to look, this is a page I made to use for an upcoming trip that I'm taking with my students, and I wanted it to look really nice and interactive for them. So I did it as images, and then they see, okay, day one, here we go. I put in EF Tours creates our video for us. I put the link right to our trip video there. And then, okay, we show them that we're going to fly, where we go first, what we're going to do. And it just scrolls, and it looks almost, in this case, like a book that scrolls. So you could use this one, too, if you want this option for a story, except in this one you can't add your own narration in the recording. But you can, like, narrate it like I'm doing to you all now, but this is just a different option. So I usually use video because I think it's really cool. But this one, if you want really nice graphics, and something to look really professionally done, this is a way to do that as well. So for questions so far with Spark, I'm just looking at our time and realize we have about 20 minutes left, and I still have all of Google to cover in 20 minutes. So any questions with Spark? Anyone, if you want to shoot them out there. And if you can't come to Spring FLAVA, I will put up that link for the presentation for using Adobe Spark as soon as I finish it. It's not all the way done yet, but I will share that link for you all and give you those resources for those of you who can't attend as well. Okay, I see someone's typing for me. Let's see what you guys got, and I'll switch this slide as well. Okay, all right, so Google while we're waiting for that. Okay, yeah. Within Adobe Spark, like where they can search for their images, is that what you mean, Shirley? If you want to clarify that one. And I can go back into my Spark. Joe. Okay. Okay, yeah, then if you want to, and when you choose like your image, when you choose projects, you can choose if your project goes public or not, and you can actually search for other videos within their domain. I have never chosen to search around and look at projects. What I usually tell my students to do when they make their projects is to keep them so only those of us with the link can see them, so they're not searchable by everyone else. But yes, you can search within Spark to see other examples. So hopefully, did that clear things up for you guys who are asking that? Okay. All right, so the next tool set I have a lot on. I'm not going to demo a lot. I'm more going to talk and share ideas, but then I can also share the resources, because I have lots of resources that go with these. So Google, a lot of you guys already said that you use the Google Drive Docs, Sheets, and Slides. So that one, I feel we don't need to go over that one as much. I do lots of collaborative writing with the students using Docs and Slides. Also with Slides, another tip I'm going to throw out there because it's one that a lot of people don't know. You can actually use Google Slides to work as Microsoft Publisher does. So if you guys actually change the shape and width of your slides. So if you wanted it to set up like a poster and you wanted to print out a poster and you don't want to mess with Google Draw, you can actually do that. I'm going to hop in here. I'm going to just show you guys an example. Let me find it. This is really tiny for me, so I'm trying to find the one I want. Okay, I might have moved it somewhere. Let me just search for it. Okay, I hope it's going to find it. Okay. Let's see if it pulls it up. Come on. Okay, you're not finding my poster contest one that I made in Google Drive. That's cool. But basically, if you go to Slides, and I'm going to try to open one. There we go. It's opening for me. If you go to Slides, And then you go to your page setup. And you hit custom. You guys can change it. So a normal page is 8.5 by 11. And you hit OK. It's now changed your slide to where it would be set up so it would print as if it were a piece of paper. I use this a lot when creating a lot of my posters that I use to publicize events for French Club around the school. It's really great if you want to put like a newsletter out and you don't want to, because you know within docs you don't have that many options, but within slides and within drawing you do. So if you want to use this as a publishing tool, you can work with Google Slides within that way too. I've had my students set it up this way, and they make storybooks through, before I knew about Adobe Spark, we would use storybooks and set it up in this page format so it actually looked like a book as well. And if you don't like these templates that are in slides, because they're pretty limited, I'm going to throw out another free thing for you guys that you can use if you use, and I used it for my presentation today. If you use Slide Carnival, you can get pretty much any kind of really cool templates for your presentations. So it's just Slides Carnival, awesome templates. All right, so forms. I'm close out of that one. And I will share the tutorial for these because these ones are really complicated and I have video tutorials that explain everything for this. So with forms, all right, so with forms, a cool thing you can actually do with forms is scavenger hunts. And basically you set this up with a feature called data validation, and I have a whole thing. I just gotta find the right folder. Okay, I think it's this one. Yes, this presentation. And I will share this link for you all. But basically it's called data validation, and all you're gonna do is what I do for my students, and I'll just show you this little bit. Just to give you an example of what happens is I give them a challenge, and this is one way you could do this before they take a quiz too, if you don't want them, like when you're making a Google form quiz. You give them a simple puzzle they have to figure out. So if they went to my Google form, and I'll just show you what it would look like. Okay, so they go and they looked at that image that I had right here. So they look at that, and then they had to put in their word, which for this puzzle was underdog. Okay, and it's going to tell me if I get it right, it'll let me go to next, but I'll just show you what happens if I put the wrong one. I just put dog, and I try to hit go. Because I saw underdog, so it went, okay. But then I've linked it so they have a challenge that they have to complete. They have to watch a video, and this is what I do as a training video. They watch it, and this shows you how you can set up your own quizzes like this. And then you got to figure out your next puzzle to go to the next step. If you don't get it right, you don't move on. So you could set it up where they're trying to find things. This would be really good for culture, to include things that they have to find and learn and set up a whole scavenger hunt, or you could call it an amazing race type idea. So it's a really fun way, and I have a whole presentation, and I will link that in here as well. And then the other one I do is a never fail quiz, which basically with that, you set it up with forms where you use your option of basically you choose based on the response. Is it going to take them to page 1? Does it take them to page 2? They get it right, it sends them to one page. If they answer it wrong, it sends them to another page for remediation, and they can learn more about the topic. And again, I will link that for you guys as well. Next one I put up there was with Google Drawings. Some things you guys could use Google Drawings for in your classes would be you can make graphic organizers in Google Drawings, so you could use that for the writing process. You could help them with grammar, make grammar charts all within Google Drawings. I have, and I'm going to give you guys, I've linked it in this presentation, a whole folder full of games, activities, organizers for teaching grammar in the target language that you guys can adapt for your own language. to make them work. So that's coming up in a few minutes. And then some of you may have ThingLink. Again, it's not free, but you can do the same thing you do in a ThingLink with Google Drawings. You just create that image, whatever you want your image to be, and then add in your shapes in Drawings. Basically, just take those shapes, kind of fade them out, put in a little hyperlink, put your link to go somewhere in there, and then they will take your students to another place to do the activity. So that's a pretty fun one. My maps, you can create maps, have the students create maps. If you guys want more information on creating maps, I can give you guys a whole presentation on maps, on how they can basically, what I do on my town unit, I have the students making our town, which is Front Royal. The students go around, I have them label the buildings in French. They have to then write sentences about each place in the target language. And then to take it a step further, they have to give me directions from the school to one of the places they've identified in the target language. And I have examples. Of course, Bedford, I will gladly share my maps with you guys. Again, I will put that up tonight for you all, and any other resources you guys have questions about, I will gladly share anything and everything with you all. Okay, so My Maps is awesome for that. Another cool thing you can do with My Maps is you can actually give the students a questionnaire. You might ask them, where did you go this weekend? And if they name the exact place, so maybe someone went to Washington, or not this weekend, where did you go on spring break, for example? And someone might say, I went to Washington, D.C., maybe I went to Virginia Beach, wherever, what city they went. You could then map it on your map, and then it could kind of be, you use as a little conversation starter with the students, and then they could talk about their spring break activities and kind of see how they went everywhere. So it's kind of a really fun idea that I like to use that one. I especially use it when I get to know my students as, okay, where were you guys born? Where are you all from? And they kind of see that, oh, we're not all from the same place, and it really builds a sense of community in the classroom. Yes, they can build a tour of a place within My Maps, because the awesome thing is when you make a place marker in My Maps, you can also add pictures, you can add videos as well, and you can write a description. So they could make a complete tour and have all these different places. So you could, for example, take them to Paris, tell them, make a tour and include X number of places, and yes, they could do that all in target language. All right, next one I put on my list was YouTube, and again, you can just use YouTube for the videos for authentic resources. You can have your students be creating the videos, whether it's flipped lessons or not. So there's so much you can do with YouTube. It's pretty much up to you. I know some districts allow it and some don't. So again, that's up to you all how you would like to use YouTube. And then for me, one of my tools that I love the most is my Google Classroom. That is my learning. Okay. I don't use Tour Builder as much, Holman, but I am willing to explore it. I like to use My Maps. It's something I've always played with more, but I guess it depends on what your personal preference is. And if I had more time, the one I really like the most right now is Google Expeditions. If you have Google Cardboards in your room, you can basically take your kids on guided virtual reality field trips. So I'm in the process of getting a whole set of Google Cardboard for my students, and it's basically you become the guide. They have these pre-made trips already for you, and you just act as guide. Students are the explorers, and what happens is you as the guide will tell them, look over here, you will see, and they have your whole script, and you just take them on these guided field trips. And Portsmouth, no, it's not an add-on. It's going to be in your drive. If you go and look on my drive on the screen, you're going to go down to More, under New, and then you would click on My Maps, and it's actually built right into your Google Drive. Okay, but Expeditions is awesome. So if you have the chance to play with a Google Cardboard and see it that way, it is so awesome. If you come to Spring FLAVA, I'll have my Google Cardboard with me, so if anyone wants to see what it's like, You can track me down. I will throw a couple copies of my cardboards in my backpack. So if you want to play with cardboard, it's not in my presentations for Spring FLAVA, but I am always more than happy to share tech anytime with you guys. So Classroom, again, great for learning management system. I was using it today just for my students to send questions back and forth with me because they're like, you're not going to be here. What are we going to do? I'm like, just send the questions right to me through Classroom. It has an app that connects right on your phone, which is very nice. So as I was driving down, I was getting messages from them. So when I stopped for lunch, I answered their questions. I can even, through my phone, read their assignments, grade their assignments. I can even, on my phone, it's touchscreen, the app that comes with it on your phones. You can even mark their papers with your own handwriting, which is pretty cool. So Classroom has a lot that it offers, and if you guys need more on how you can find like more advanced features on Classroom, let me know, because again, I have resources on that as well. So the best part, what I'm giving you guys now, oops, sorry, I didn't change it up on your screen, changed it on mine, is this folder is a wealth of resources for you all. These are all templates that I have created that you can use in your classroom. So they are free to you all. I'm going to go ahead and open it so you can see on your screen. There's some templates in here, but I can always add more stuff to here because I create stuff all the time. I just didn't put everything in here. So there's my macaroons that you can use for verb conjugation. So you could change the shape to something else if you're not a French teacher. Paris bingo chart, I love it. It's Google Drawings, it's a lot of fun. Battleship, telling time, movable clocks. So these are just some free resources that you guys can use. Just make a copy of them as well. So all you have to do when you open one, it's going to show for you guys as view only. Just make a copy, and then it's free for you to use however you want. And we're down to the 5-minute warning. So moving right along, because I could talk even more about tech, is I want to know from this last section, take just a couple minutes and share with me what tool you want to try. So do you want to try the Sheets with Flippity? Do you want to try Adobe Spark? Do you want to try some of the other Google tools? So take a minute, discuss in your groups, maybe find someone in your host site that you haven't spoken to yet, and tell me who you would like to share. Tell me what tool you would like to try, and I'll give you about a minute or two to do that for me. All right, I'm seeing Flippity, I'm seeing My Maps, Flippity. We want to try them all, especially Flippity and Spark. Flippity. More with Google. Let's see, I'm seeing more Flippity. Screencastify, I'm seeing more with Screencastify. I'll give you guys another minute to come up with those answers for me. Adobe Spark, Screencastify, My Maps. So it looks like the most popular seems to be Spark, My Maps. I'm seeing a lot of Flippity. So I'm really glad I'm getting to share a lot of tools with you guys that you may not have heard of before. And again, I will gladly share any and all these resources with you guys. Like, I love getting to share with others because I think when we learn, we should share it. We shouldn't just keep it to ourselves. And what I really want to do is just inspire you guys all to be a change agent, okay? I want you guys to make changes. Be bold. Use technology in your classroom because it's going to help your students become 21st century learners. So just be bold. Try things. Yeah, we all make mistakes sometimes, and sometimes our tech doesn't go as we plan, and it's okay. It's not what I call a failure. I call it a beautiful oops. So just learn from it. Be willing to try. Your students are there learning right along with you, and they're always going to jump in and help. So with that, we have a couple minutes left for questions. So if anyone has questions about anything we have covered, and I know we covered a lot today, a whole lot. So please feel free, ask me any questions. And again, I put put up my email and my Twitter up there. Again, you can either email me questions, you can put them on our Padlet, you can put them on our back channel on today's Meet. So any questions you guys have, please put them up there. And oops, okay, I'm trying to watch some of these guys and my screen is so small. I'm actually going to move over to the big monitor so I can read them because it's really small and I can't read from that far away. So let me see. I'm seeing, thank you. You guys are so welcome. Okay, where do you find all these? I am going to link them all within this original presentation, if that is the easiest for you, because we will again share this out after the recording is done. When you guys get your certificates, it'll be in there. I can put them on there if that's easiest for you all. You all tell me. I can create pretty much whatever you all would want. If you all want me to start building a foreign language site where we can all share our resources together, I would even be willing to do that. I just want to be able to help all of us as foreign language teachers in Virginia. So you tell me what you want, and I will do it. I thoroughly enjoyed getting to talk with you all. This has been an absolute pleasure. This is the first time I've done one like this, not having a whole room full of people to interact with, but you guys have been fabulous, and I cannot thank you all enough. And I know you guys are going to implement these in your classrooms, and you guys are all going to be amazing. And yes, the workshop will be on FLAVA YouTube on Monday, and you'll get your certificates shortly. Don't forget to sign up for Spring FLAVA. It's in less than a month. It's right here on the beautiful campus of Washington and Lee, and it would be awesome to see so many of you guys here. We are going to have several tech sessions, all kinds of sessions for everyone, so please come out. And I'm seeing a site for us would be awesome. I will talk with Dick and maybe we can get this somehow put up on our FLAVA website, a link to it, but I would be glad to create it and moderate it for us because we have this for AATF where we do a wiki where we share our resources, but I would be glad to do that. So just let me know, guys, and thank you again and have a wonderful evening.